Big Bad Iga wild on tour, upset at win for set with his constant in-match adjustments. She just wants to play. We're also going to talk about Arena Sabalenka, Pegula, the Miami Championship. We're going to take a look at Colombia, Charleston, South Carolina, and Mexico. We have a lot to talk about. We have some predictions here. But first, as always, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. Big Bad Iga. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Upset at Wim for set. Now, look, before we get started, she would say Wim has been doing an amazing job. She's appreciative of his in-match adjustments. However, a little frustrated last time out. We all know the story. We know the headlines. Alexandra Eala, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Philippines, one of my top team prospects I told you to watch out for, defeats Iga Swiatek in Miami in the quarterfinal matchup. Iga eliminated. She has not won a championship this year. She has a 12 tournament drought. And a lot of people getting on Coco, guys. Coco's won 3 of her last 9 tournaments she's played, and Iga has not won a championship in 12 straight tournaments. This is her longest drought of her professional career. People are getting concerned, and a lot of people are concerned at how the exchange with win for set went down. Now, Iga would go on to say she doesn't like to constantly be coached while she's playing. It can frustrate her, not essentially in those words, but that's exactly what she said, what she meant in terms of meaning. Her point is, look, I want to play. Sometimes the in-match adjustments, the constant talking distracts me from focusing. Now, again, not exactly in those words, but let's take a page back from what I said about Coco. We remember Brad Gilbert was Coco's coach. Heated exchange, right? A couple years ago where Coco looked over at her camp and said, guys, stop it. She was upset. That's right. Because when you are fast, explosive, when you rely a lot on your instincts, a lot of those in-match adjustments and focusing on different things while you're trying to figure out your opponent. Tennis is such a fast sport. It's so fast that a lot of times it's going to slow you down and take away from your natural instincts and your ability to problem solve. Listen, guys, Paula Badosa said it best. She said, a lot of the players ranked just outside the top 100. Don't look at their ranking, right? Because they're all very good. However, when you're playing an opponent, especially those with a higher ranking, you can normally figure out what they're doing by the end of the first set or maybe a little bit after. So I think Paul Badosa said it best, and that's what I like to do here at Tennis in a Minute. I like to give you real examples of what the players are thinking, and we can see, watching tennis, especially as much as I do, that the players like to problem solve. Now, I coach athletics, and I'll tell you firsthand, when you have someone that relies a lot on their instinct, their athletic abilities, if you start to give them too many instructions, it's like, you ever had a computer that's maybe a little bit outdated, and then you try to open too many windows, you hit enter, you click the mouse a few times, it starts to freeze, and now it needs to think, it's overthinking, the processor can't keep up with your demands, and then it just crashes and resets. Game over, match over, your player loses. This is what a lot of these tennis players experience. Remember, they are people, they're human beings. Too much information overload, they're going to start to break down. And especially because tennis is such a high pace, a lot of times it's reaction. It's reacting off of your skills, your abilities, and just your experience. If you're giving your player too many commands and instructions, they're going to get frustrated. And Wim said he's very analytical. And look, he's one of the best coaches on tour. Iga said that. She acknowledged it. But she was upset at all the instructions he was giving her. Like, she's playing a 19-year-old, even though she's one of my top prospects, she's a 19-year-old. She wanted to figure it out. So whether or not that directly contributed to the loss, I wouldn't say so. I just think Alexandra played an amazing match. But I agree with Iga. I agree with Coco. These players, and look, this is why Sabalenka gets upset sometimes. But you have players like Elena Rybakina, who is receptive, and I think Stefanos is the best coach when it comes to in-match adjustments. But you also have Elena, who's been known as calm, cool, collected, very down-to-earth, Even she gets upset. We saw her in Miami this same tournament a couple years ago, look to Stefanos and say, shut up. right? Because when you're in a tough battle like this, too much information overload, the players break down, right? And I agree with Iga during this matter. But let's take a look at Alexandra. You guys wondering where she came from. Look, I told you she's one of my top team prospects. She's going to be big, a 3-time junior champion. This is how she beats you. She loves to go down the line, down the middle, down the tee. She is a very vertical player. But for players with weaker backhand, she's going to beat you on the outside as well. Pegula would come back and win this match, though, after a tight first set tiebreak. Even though Pegula took the first set tiebreak, she won the match in straight sets. This is the type of match where Pegula just really showed her experience. I think she played very technical. She didn't want to get into a firefight with a younger, probably more explosive player because Pegula doesn't play at 100%. She plays at about 70% when it comes to her power anyway. I felt she just wanted to play a smart match with the stakes, a championship appearance at stake. I felt she just wanted to play very technical, very smart, and she did exactly that and wait for the younger player to break down in the pressure point situations. I mean, for the most part, Pegula won about 75% of her first serves. Jordan fist pump. In terms of Alexandra, and we're going to talk about Sabalenka, Pegula coming up next. If you are a Pegula fan, which we all are here at the channel, if she wins the Miami Open, she's going to be number 3 in the world. She'll get 1,000 points, and she'll take that lead from Coco by about 300 points. However, if she loses the Miami Open, she'll pick up, I want to say, 700 points, if I'm not mistaken. Coco's going to stay in the number 3 spot by about 60 points. This is a tight race, ladies and gentlemen, and for Coco Gauff fans, this is a huge Coco channel. It's time for Coco to really get it in gear, because she's starting to slip. Coco had an opportunity with a huge first quarter. She could have overtook the number 1 spot. Now she has the opportunity, or I say Pegula has the opportunity to bump Coco out of that number 3 spot to the number 4 spot. And there's going to be a little bit of shuffle. Jasmine's going to drop down as well. But listen, guys, Pegula, very technical. I don't know if she's going to have the power to defeat Sabalenka because Pegula plays a very relaxed type of game, and Sabalenka's too aggressive. They played 8 times. Sabalenka's won 6 of them. It might be a repeat of what we're used to. But let's take a look at Alexandra. A lot of new fans coming to the channel, checking for her. Listen, guys. She's 19. I said she's good. 3-time Junior Slam champion. She won the Australian Open doubles title, the French Open doubles title, as well as the U.S. Open singles title. She's very accomplished. 5 titles on the ITF. She will now be on the clay season. She's got a couple wild cards. She's got a guaranteed spot into the French Open. She's now a top 70 player. She entered this tournament like 150th. So very good player. I just want her to rest up, get healthy. A lot of people think they remind her of Emma Raducanu, and if you heard what Ken Jung said at the Indian Wells, if she was stranded in the desert, if she had to pick one person to be with, it would be Emma Raducanu because they could speak Chinese. Iga, on the other hand, said if she was stranded in the desert, she would pick Arina Sabalenka because of the tiger on her arm, like An said before. Maybe she could help protect her. Coco said if she had to pick someone stranded in the desert, she would go with Roger Federer, ladies and gentlemen. I'd probably pick Roger too. But let's take a look at the Miami Championship match. We have Arina Sabalenka hits hard, taking on big game Jessie P. This is going to be a very, very good matchup here. Now, Pegula's here in the championship match after taking out Bernarda Pera in the first round in straight sets. 3 sets with Anna Kalinskaya, straight sets over Marta Kashuk, 3 sets over Emma Raducanu, and 3 sets over Alexandra Eala. That's right, very tough teenage prospect. Taking on Sabalenka, someone she's not done well against. She's lost 6 of the 8 meetings, while Sabalenka's here after taking out Victoria Tomova, Gabriela Elena Rusa, who is injured. She had to retire. Danielle Collins in straights, Ken Jung in straights, and Polini in straights. So I see this. If Pegula doesn't win the first set, she's not going to win the match, right? Sabalenka's going to come out hard. She plays very aggressive. Sabalenka, on the other hand, if she loses a set, she can come back and play more aggressive and win the second set. I think this is a matchup here where Sabalenka's going to come out. She's going to hit her +1. She's going to hit her serve. She's going to have Pegula on the back foot for a lot of this match. It just is what it is. I like Sabalenka to win the first set. I do think she wins this championship. I did want to see Pegula win But the reality here is I think Jasmine was her biggest hope in winning this title. It's too tough to go against Sabalenka. She hits so hard. She stretches the court with power. Pegula's just so relaxed. I don't know how Pegula's going to win this match. Now, in terms of Sabalenka, she won Brisbane. She did lose the Australian Open, and now she has the opportunity to win her second title of the year. Pegula's playing good tennis, and I think the transition with her new coaches from David Witt has been good. A lot of criticism at first. I mean, she's got doubles coaches. She's not even playing doubles anymore. But Pegula lost the Adelaide final to Madison Keys. She made the quarterfinals of Doha. She won Austin, the ATX Open, after Madison Keys was bumped out, and now she got a chance to win her second title of the year. I think Sabalenka wins the first set, and Sabalenka wins the match. I want to take a look at Julieta Pereira. Julieta Pareja. She's going to take on Carol Zhao. Now, this is going to be Colombia, Bogota. That's right, guys. We saw who? I want to say Potapova won this tournament a couple years ago. Good draw here. Elizabeth Manlik's the 5th seed. She's taking on Vedder. We have Alexandra Krunik. Tinkanova. We have Bulsovic. But I want to take a look at this matchup here now. Julieta, big-time top teen prospect. She's on my list. Another player to watch out for. But she's never played clay. She's never played clay. She's an American hardcourt player. She did give Eala a run for her money at the Indian Wells, winning 8 service games off of her. But she's taking on Carol Zhao, who's pretty decent on clay. I mean, she wins for every 2 matches she wins 1 on clay, but hasn't done well on clay the last couple of years. I think Julieta is going to come out, start fast, but I think Carol Zhao is going to win this match. So that's another prediction there. I do want to take a look at Mexico, guys. 2 of my previous top teen prospects, Maya Joint, who's 19. She took on Linda Favertova, who's also 19. This was a very, very good match here, guys, because not only did Linda drop the first set, she'd have to come back, toughen up, and she would come back and win the second set and win the match. That's right, guys. After losing the first set to Maya Joint, 2 of my top teen prospects. Now, I do feel that Linda's not really a prospect anymore. She was previously on that list, but she has a main tour championship while Maya Joint doesn't. But the reality here is this is where I talk about Linda and her athletic ability. When she's facing someone younger, her age, she struggled a lot in this match. Overall, I do think Linda's the better shot maker. She has the more experience on the main tour, and she could stretch the court more. However, stamina was the issue here. Maya Joint did run out of gas here. It's a match she probably should have won. Maya had the power advantage as well. But when it comes to stretching the court, she got a little bit too tired. She went big a lot and early and often. And that's right, guys. Linda Favertova comes through. She wins this match. We have Heather Watson. Heather Watson still in the mix. So watch out for that there because this is going to be a good final here. I might as well give you a breakdown. Jacqueline Christian, she's going to take on Rebecca Masarova. I think Jacqueline's playing good tennis. I do think Rebecca could upset her, but I'm going to go with Jacqueline to win that match. I'm going to go with Heather Watson to defeat Linda Favertova. I think Heather Watson, that win over Sarah Termel, she's playing solid. Both ladies need the win in the rankings, but I like Heather Watson and Jacqueline to make the final there, guys. I think that's all we got, guys. Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. Maya Joint, what's next for her? She'll get ready for clay season now. She did enroll in Texas. Is she going to cancel? Is she going to withdraw from Texas University? Because she's doing very, very well. Guys, a lot of tennis coming up. We have Charleston, South Carolina. That's right. Those qualifiers are coming up. Who do you think is going to win Charleston? Well, let me pose this question, guys. Do you think Danielle Collins will defend her championship in Charleston, South Carolina? I think that's the real question everyone wants to know. If I had to guess, I would say no. I don't think Danielle's going to defend that championship. I don't think she's in her best form right now. And I think last year she just had the magic of announcing she was walking away from the sport. And I just felt she was playing with a lot more energy and passion. And I don't think she's going to defend her title in Charleston. In terms of the draw, we have some heavy hitters there. Qualifiers are starting. We have Harriet Dot, the Brits. We have Zhang Shui. She is there as well. She's a 3 seed. Catherine Seabaugh. She's a 12 seed. We have Rhodia Nova from Australia. She's there. Kat McNally is in the building. Claire Lou's a 10th seed. She's in the building. Going to be a good tournament. And also one of my previous former teen prospects,